guys, welcome back to my channel, and welcome to today's video where I am using the Forest Sight palette from ColourPop and Raw Beauty Kristi. I keep thinking I'm going to declutter this, and I needed to get some fresh inspiration to get me back interested in the palette. So today's look was inspired by a creator over on Instagram, Pigments of the Arcane. Her information is linked down below. I do recommend you check out her profile on Instagram. Let's get going with this look. Okay, let's start by putting on some lip gloss, because my lips are so dry. Actually, I think I'm a little dehydrated. All of me feels dry. You know, my skin feels dry, my lips feel dry, my eyes feel dry. This is the lip oil from ColourPop in the shade Smirk. It's almost gone. I really like the lip oils from ColourPop. Okay, so today I want to play with my Forest Sight palette from ColourPop. This has been collaborated with Raw Beauty Kristi, and this has been a long-time favorite as far as packaging, and I really enjoy the color story. I think it's quite lovely, honestly. The problem is that I don't love the formula. It's not that I dislike it, but compared to all of the other indie brands that I have, ColourPop just doesn't quite measure up. It's not as good as the other things in my collection, and because of that, I just don't really use it. And I'm sad to say that, because this palette is great as far as, like I said, the packaging and the color story, but I'm seriously contemplating getting rid of it. I had decided that before I make that decision, I wanted to recreate at least one of the looks that I saw on Instagram from Pigments of the Arcane. I will link her Instagram down below if you're curious. She's got some really beautiful looks. I love the shape that she gets. She combines lots of beautiful colors. She has lots of palettes, and I really like the way that she organizes her Instagram account, because what she does, and this is perfect for reference, she'll take a picture of the palette and then she posts 4 looks using that palette, and then she does a recap of those 4 looks. So it's 6 posts in total, and it makes it so easy, because when I knew that I wanted to use this palette to do a look by that girl, I just had to go back to her Instagram account and find the picture of Forest Sight, and the next 4 looks were using that palette. So it's just really easy for me to reference back to find exactly what I needed in a very timely way. The one I want to recreate today, she did like a beautiful berry gold halo eye. I'm not going to do a full halo eye because my lower lash line over here, I think it's bothered by something. I don't think it's pink eye anymore. I think it's just like maybe a swollen tear duct or something, but I'm going to avoid the lower lash line and I'll just do berry and gold. It should be really easy. It should be really easy. So I've primed my eyes with the Glamlight Icing Primer. Everything I'm using is linked down below in the description box per usual. Let's do this. I forgot to mention, I do have a palette pull-in project. If you don't know what I mean, it's carded above here. The palette that I'm working through is Tropicolor from Sydney Grace. It looks like this. And the number that I'm on is number 6. So shade number 6 is Cocoa Beans, a really dark brown matte. I could easily incorporate that in today's look. Should I? I don't know. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. Let's do it. I'm picking up the shade Amanita with a Blend Bunny B1, and I'm just going to build out my outer corner from here. It is a halo eye with the exception of the lower lash line, which will just stay naked, I think. So I'm going to basically do this shade in the inner and outer corners, and then use the lighter pink to buff it all out, and then I'll put the gold in the center, and we'll see how it is. I mean, it's not a matter of disliking the palette. I really fought to get this palette, but I have not used it in quite some time. And the last time I did use it, I was not happy with my look. I had to bring in 1 or 2 other palettes just to make it look decent. Maybe it was user error. Maybe it was I just didn't choose the right colors. I don't know. But I want to love this palette, and I just haven't been. And I am to the point right now where I'm really feeling like I want to get rid of things. And my family and I are hoping on moving in a couple of months, and I'm very much getting into that, okay, it's time to declutter so that we don't have to move it sort of mentality. So I already did a small declutter at the end of the year, but I've actually seriously thought about pulling out a few more palettes and adding them to my declutter pile. We shall see. This is performing nicely, and it is a very beautiful color. This has always been basically my favorite color in the palette. And you know, if I had a pretty display wall of eyeshadow palettes, then this would never leave. This would just be on display. But I don't have that. I just have a bookshelf. And it's not likely that I'm going to have a display wall for eyeshadow palettes, because I don't want my kids getting into it. I don't really want like a whole makeup room, or even so much a makeup space. I like them on the bookshelf. It's a good way for me to keep them organized, for me to see what I have, for me to have them all lined up nicely, to keep them out of the reach of the little people. The idea of it as decor is nice, but it's probably not realistic for where I am in life right now. I'm going to keep this center space free of this color. This is a beautiful color. I don't think I ever told you guys the results of my audition. If you were here last year, you know that I auditioned for a vocal competition, and I explained the whole process because it was video auditions and then callback auditions, and I got to be a finalist. And then the final round of the competition is actually a live performance with a symphony orchestra, and they do the judging based on those performances. So it was amazing. It was such an amazing experience, and it was a full week of rehearsals leading up to the concert, which was incredible. Honestly, like one of the best weeks of my whole life. Well, I didn't win the competition, and if you don't win, then you get to go back and try again the next year. So I did. I had video auditions, and then I had a callback, and I never told you guys the result of the callback. But first, I'm dipping into Old Growth with a larger and fluffier blending brush. I'm going to start this in the center space, like this naked skin, and really I'm just going to try to bridge the gap between the deeper berry and the pink. I don't want to wash the colors too high. I want to keep them kind of low. So I'm laying this down very gently here, and then I'll just buff the edges a smidge. And there is what felt like there was a hair. But anyway, the results of the callback auditions are that I'm a finalist again. And I'm so excited because this year, the theme of the final concert is even more up my alley than last year. And I am absolutely delighted that I get to do this again. I'm so excited. I went to the Christmas concert. I did do a video where I was getting ready for that concert. I went to that concert with my family, and that's where they announced the finalists. And then my daughter and I went to one of their other season concerts. Oh, see, now this is too dark. Hang on, I got all wrapped up in concert talk and I put on too much pigment. I'm cleaning off my brush and just trying to buff it away a little bit. Anyway, my daughter and I, a couple nights ago, went to another concert with that orchestra, and I got to go up to the conductor, who was one of the judges for the auditions, and thank him in person for letting me come back again as a finalist. I am so excited. You have no idea. I can't wait. I can't wait. It's going to be great. It's going to be so amazing to be able to do it all again. Another week of rehearsals, another week of performing with a full orchestra and with other vocalists and making music together and having a solo song and then having ensemble pieces. Another week where I get to hang out with, rehearse with, and perform with a Broadway singer, because they have one who comes in for this show every year. I'm really excited. Now I'm taking a flat brush. I'm not gonna use my palette pull and shade. I know I could very easily incorporate it into this look. I just don't really want to. I don't really want to. I just love the way this is looking. It's soft, it's berry and feminine and attractive, and I don't really want to bring brown into it. So I'm taking a flat brush and going into the shade West Coast, which is the gold shimmer in the palette. And I'm gonna start in kind of lightly because I'm enjoying the lightness of this look. I'm not gonna spray it. I'm just gonna lay it down here. Now, generally, I apply ColourPop shimmers with my finger, but that will bring in more brightness, and I don't really know that I want brightness today. I'm really liking this quieter sort of feel. So, laying it down in the center space, and once it's pretty well focused in the middle area here, I'll just take whatever's on the brush and drag it out a little bit to overlap the matte edges. And then I'll go back in with the matte brush and Amanita and re-intensify the corners. Just a little bit. Again, keeping it light, keeping it cool, nothing too dramatic. It's just now occurring to me that this probably in no way matches my shirt. What shirt am I even wearing? Okay, it's the white shirt with like deep charcoal stripes. So my look doesn't clash, but this is a very warm shimmer. It might have made more sense to use a cool shimmer, but I don't care. If I really hate it, I can just change my shirt, right? I am liking the eye look. I'm feeling very encouraged because this is looking beautiful. It's been very easy to do, and I'm having a much better time with this palette now than I did the last time I used it. Much better time. Honestly, I think that's going to be it. I'm not doing anything on the lower lash line. I'm not going to do the waterline either because I'm pretty sure it's my waterline that's a bit inflamed over here. So I'm just going to leave it like this. I will put on some mascara and yeah, you know, I like that. I'm going to go off camera. I'll be right back. I can hear my kids waking up. Let me quickly finish off this look. I did put on some mascara. This is the Cosmic, what is it? Cosmic Colors Extreme Curves Waterproof Mascara. I don't like this. I don't like this. The component is, okay, the formula is stringy. Like you pull it out and you get these long strings, and the component is tiny. It's so small and it's very wet. So you put it on the lower lash line and it basically instantly like dribbles down a little bit to the skin. I got it for free. I would not recommend this mascara. In fact, I'm not even gonna link it down below for you. Anyway, for my lips, I'm gonna use this. My two littlest ones are playing together. This Dusty Rose, 1042 Dusty Rose color from Italia Deluxe. And then I want to try something new. I picked up NYX Smooth Whip Matte Lip Cream. I recently have been kind of into a more matte lip as opposed to, see, I put oil on, so now this isn't sticking. Oh, whatever, just move on. As opposed to glossy. Always preferred gloss, but lately I've been kind of liking the look of a matte lip. Ooh, that's a good color match though, isn't it? For the eyes. I haven't tried this before. It doesn't smell weird. It is smooth and creamy, honestly. So I'm curious just to see if it dries down matte or if it just stays feeling like this but looks more matte. And again, I have a lip oil underneath of it, so it's probably more matte than it actually looks. And that might also be affecting the texture. I'm gonna keep trying this. I do like, it applied very nicely. The component was nice, and I think it's pretty. It's pretty color. Anyway, so that's my look. I think it's pretty. I'd love to hear your thoughts, and honestly, I'm really excited about it. Do you hear my children? I guess the baby monitor is loud. I'm really excited about it because I was really expecting to be like, it's time to let this one go. But I think today's look is quite pretty. It's very elegant and soft and quiet, but it's still impactful, and the shadows performed just fine. They really did. They performed fine. I didn't have any patchiness. I didn't have any weird lines. They were easy to work with, easy to apply. The colors are, of course, true to pan. I'm familiar with this palette. Maybe I just needed some fresh inspiration. So maybe I'll recreate one of her other looks. I'm sorry, I don't know her name. But Pigments of the Arcane is linked down below. I recommend you follow her if you're on Instagram and you like eyeshadow, because she does have a really easy and enjoyable like profile to look at, and she does really lovely looks. Very comprehensive. In each of her posts with a new look, she'll label which shadows she used. So really easy for following along tutorials and stuff. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for your time, for clicking on my video. And by the way, those of you who were here last year when I was going through the audition process and everything, thank you for encouraging and being supportive of me. You guys are the greatest. I appreciate all of you so much. I am very, very much looking forward to the performance this year. In April, I get to rent another formal gown. It's gonna be a good time, and I'll keep you guys updated as we go. Have a great day, guys. I'll see you again in my next video.